Happy New Year to all of the roasties, all three of you most likely. But it's 2023. We've got some exciting things for you, and one which you will notice right after the intro that will scare the living shit out of you. And that's what we do here on the Sunday Roast. Welcome to the Sunday Roast with Mike and Danny. This is Danny and this is Mike, and we're kind of strange. We're in the tub and we drink a lot. At least one of us does. This is not Mike's body, but that is Danny's, and that's really gross. Thanks for watching the Sunday Roast. We love our fans. And here's Danny's mom.
His name's Michael.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
And he's a Jew. You can tell he's a Jew. Look at
Ask him
him.
who's his daddy.
Magical moment. I can almost taste Danny. It's so close I can almost taste him.
And now, the moment you've been waiting for. It's the Sunday Roast with your hosts, Magic Mike and Danny the GFP. Welcome to the Sunday Roast, and there's a reason you're staring at a yellow, bruised banana jersey or shirt or kit, I should say, because we have a reveal for you, and it's a reveal that's going to make you physically ill. So you've come to the right place. You're getting it right at the beginning of the Happy New Year. Danny, are you ready to reveal your new look?
It's 2023, Michael. It's a new year. It's a new me. Are we ready?
Let's do it. I thought that was a picture. It's actual live video. Oh, what have you done?
It's known as my Thomas.
Danny.
My Magnum.
What have you
Not the
done?
ice cream.
Hold on. Here, instant feedback if you wanted it. Mark producer, we haven't heard yet from Craig because this was said before the vomitocious reveal.
See, it's going to work in threefold. First of all, it's a new look because, like ladies, it's New Year. They get a new frock, or they get a haircut, or they get their nails done, and we can't do any of that lot. And so this is my new look for 2023. And also,
we can do that. It's just
it makes you look even slimmer. Not only is your diet looking great, you're now next to someone who looks it's all hidden. I look like a right old pork chop.
Look, the
look at the sideburns. For fact,
the crazy thing about this is you look more like my dad now than like me. My dad went back. My dad went back and forth. Like originally, he had just the mustache. Then he went with the beard, and I didn't actually love the whole mustache beard combo on him. And then towards the end, he started losing all of his hair because of chemo. But but I mean, he was always a mustache only guy, and seeing as how we're both twins, and you're probably his son.
Papa would be proud.
Yeah, somehow your mother and my father mated and had the Sunday Roast twins. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take comments on Danny's new look, and we will have a poll to see whether, and I can assure you it will be very temporary, whether I should actually shave into the same look live on the air with just the mustache and do it utilizing the video that I'm seeing of myself as a mirror. So
and this
I'm willing to do that.
Also works with when Sean was back for Christmas. When I've done it, her bedroom doesn't have a bed anymore. It's full of shit, and so we've cleaned it all out. And it had her mum's new dishwasher.
You don't bother going to the toilet anymore. You just go in her bedroom.
Yeah, I just shit in there. That's how I know I've lost 8 stone this week. I keep it all in a bag in the fridge. And then I wait at the end of every week. So 8 stone I've lost this week. I mean, most of it was oxtail soup, but anyway, weight is weight. And so she does not know where to sleep. So she said I was going to sleep on the sofa. Now think of Call of Duty, boys and girls, mums and dads, aunties and uncles, cats and dogs, Call of Duty. And then I said, well, you could sleep on the floor at the end of my bed.
Judy. Who's Judy?
Call of Duty.
Who's Judy, and why are you calling her?
How dare you? And so I said, you can sleep on the floor at the end of my bed if you want. And she went, I said, then I could teabag you. Completely forgetting teabagging used to be a sexual term.
Oh, why, yes. I didn't know that it wasn't anymore. So
in Call of Duty, it's when you kill someone, you then above them. And then, yes. So then they reminded me what that was. But then again, when she was pissed up New Year's Eve at her mate Needy Evie's, they were eating corn and getting high. Evie went, oh, hello. Oh, you can teabag me whenever you want. Luckily, she doesn't remember making the call, so it never actually happened. So, do your
wait. One of your daughter's friends said that you should teabag her. I mean, who are you, Keys?
Yeah, no. I mean, she's 25, so I mean, it's legal, but they're all 12 to me. They're all my daughter's mates are forever children. No matter, even when they're 50 with grandkids, I shall still refer to them as sprogs. So, do you lot celebrate New Year's Eve? Because you had a great non-Christmas, didn't you?
No, of course we celebrate New Year's Eve. There's a picture of it right there. I opened the show with it. I flew home from Florida that afternoon.
Mm-hmm.
I had to stick around for a week after Steph and Jake came home because we had some installs and some deliveries to the Hizzle.
Did I see Andy come to see you?
Yes and no. Andy came to Florida, but didn't come to see me. I had to go see him because he was staying. All right, so
I saw the jacuzzi one. I didn't know you had a jacuzzi.
I don't. That was Andy's Airbnb. See, I live in Bradenton, and Aston lives in Orlando, which is about 2 hours from each other, and about an hour and a half from me and a half an hour from Orlando is where Andy came all the way from Colorado with his whole family. Family came in from England. Family came in from all over the place, and they all got this huge Airbnb in Davenport, Florida, which is in the middle of nowhere, halfway between. And he was there for 12 days, didn't see Aston once, and wouldn't come to my house, which was an hour and a half away. Instead, he blamed it on his wife and said he couldn't leave because they were having family time. So I came out to watch the West Ham game on Boxing Day with him.
You drive down in the convertible?
Drove down in the convertible.
What music were you playing?
It was a little
music.
It was too cold in Florida that week.
Never too cold.
It was. It was probably like 9-10 degrees Celsius.
I have driven my Mercedes convertible 6 times. Every time I drove it 6 times, and every time with the roof down. And one of the last times I drove it, it was I decided to see how fast you could go in pouring rain to stop the rain coming in, and got it up to about 150, and then the rain didn't come in anymore. So that was only a short length of time.
I if I just start busting out laughing for no good reason during the podcast, just know why it is.
When I originally did it, it went all the way down.
Did you do it? You should have done like a Fu Manchu, like
a dirty Sanchez, as it's known in the trade.
Well, we like to call it a Nigerian hurricane, which, oh God, we got wrapped up into the Urban Dictionary a couple of days ago, and some of these things, I can't believe. 2 of them I think deleted themselves from, unless you had something to do with that. I uploaded 3, and 2 of them are magically gone, and it's probably for the best, but.
No, I've not deleted anything for ages.
Well, let's we have a lot to catch up on. The first is this. I have a bone to pick before I shave so that I look more like you. Here's a nice looking YouTube site with all of your podcast friends.
There's about 30 on there.
I only see 6, and that's not and maybe I didn't scroll down enough.
You
but,
know, when I was doing that, it's an absolute pain in the ass because you do it and then you click confirm, and then it sometimes can take up to an hour to confirm it. So when I started doing them, I did one and then another and then another, and then at the end I just did all of them and left it. So I've not been back. I did that a year ago.
Well, you have like the newest podcast of all time, the shit, with the Not Another Arsenal podcast. I don't even know those guys, but they seem really dopey to me.
You are on there. I just had a look. You are.
Well, if we are, it's not prominent enough for my liking. So,
hold on, here we go. I share a window, and it is.
If you have to look for the Gooners podcast, I mean, we have enough problems getting people.
See that? There's not many. There's only 3, 6, 9. There's only 10 that have worked. There you go. You're top left. I don't know why you're not top left on your one. Oh, maybe because you're looking at it. Are you looking at it from your podcast's account?
Maybe.
Oh, maybe that. I don't. Maybe it's because you look from your own podcast account. It's not recommended.
Go and tell me, because I think he's just put us on there. Quickly.
If you knew how to do it, you don't just put someone on there.
I know. I was gonna
shit system.
I was gonna say you must have tried to save face, but clearly you're not interested in saving your face. So it's not one of those type of situations. But so how was
all I need now is your hat and pipe, and I'll be well away.
Yeah, can I pass it through the
what a great show you did with Soph and Tom. Who else was on that show? There's one other person.
Soph and James and Daniel Robert.
No.
Tom. The Christmas one or the one in on
how many shows have you done with Tom Canton?
2 lately.
Look at you.
Yeah.
Mixing with the hoi polloi.
Yeah. Well, when you get to 3,000 follows like we did late last month because I begged, then you get to go on T-Bone's channel.
So now do we officially have to go through your people to get you on?
Yeah, I mean every Sunday we have the same call with my agent, and it's ponderous at this point. But hello to the roasties. We've got 20 of you, and I would say 20 odd, but I think it's that's redundant because if you're watching this, you're pretty odd.
Very odd.
We
had 41 watching on Twitch at one point. No, on Twitter. They all fucked off soon though. We've got 1 watching on.
But that includes people who just fell asleep with Twitter open, and we've got Craig in the house, who once I'm back down there again, we're gonna watch a game in February. That's just all there is to it. Got Demsek in the house. We've got Mark McCreedon, who I will be seeing on Friday with some lamb ribs. We've got Dublin Gooner in the house. Matt Hatter's here. Who else we got? We have the very handsome Stream Elements is in the house. Very good personality from Stream Elements. The bot got Loki. By the way, any roasties, James is in the house. Paul Neal, who's already giving up on the FA Cup, and we'll talk about that a little bit. Anybody who is either in the London area or who wants to fly in from Fort Lauderdale, we're having dinner, and you're invited as well. There's no stairs. If you can catch some transportation, we're having dinner at Yildiz, I think it's called Yildiz on Blackstock Road. We're having lamb ribs. We're having whatever other Turkish food you want. We're just getting together. I don't care whether it's going to be me, my friend Tom Rosenhammer, who's been on the Sunday roast. It's going to be Mark is going to be there, and it might just be the 3 of us, but it might be 45 people. We just don't know yet. But everybody's invited. 8 p.m. We're going to do it. We're going to eat some goddamn lamb ribs and whatever else you want, and I'll be like cutting them into tiny small pieces and chewing them so that they fit down my tiny little stomach.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah. Well, Si, I'm sorry that I'm going to miss you because I'm not getting back to Bradenton until the 26th. I wanted to make sure that it waited until you were back in Chicago again. So
I'm having a look. Place looks a little bit too small for the likes of me.
No,
Yes,
it ain't. And I think that there's tables on the lower level. I don't think there's that. There might be a step to get up to the main level, but have Sean drive you down. And
oh no, I'm looking at one in Istanbul. Tomato, Kartal, Merkez, Istanbul. No, I ain't going that far.
Well, I've come a long way. You might as well. It's Yildiz Restaurant at 163 Blackstock Road. We haven't checked with them because it's probably just going to end up being a table for 3. but I mean, you see the lamb ribs right on the main page when you go there. It's yildizrestaurant.co.uk.
Isn't the ribs the bit they throw away? Once you've taken all the good meat off, that's what's left over.
If that's what it is, then I'm fine with it because it is.
I ain't got time for no ribs.
Fucking amazing. And there are a few tables down on the main level. Then there's a small single step up. Let's here, because this is a show where we just do things for no good reason. I'm going to share my screen so we can see.
Oh, I've got some shit to bore you with later, Treacle. Don't you worry about that.
So
I'm going to be showing everybody my Football Manager ABWFC,
and I'm probably going to shave while you're doing that. So yeah, we've got this is the restaurant that. You walk in if they're not closed. They've been closed a lot of times when I've gone there, but you walk in, you look to your right, you see all the lamb ribs. Here are the tables.
Oh, it does look pretty good.
Yeah. Oh, it's fantastic. And if you, I mean, the food. My God,
there is a step.
But
I like Turkish food because it's mostly meat.
Oh,
right.
It's incredible. Look, look at that. Look at the flavor right there.
If I have my food, I want
that will. By the way, that amount of food will last me probably for 2 meals, 3 meals.
With my food, I want to pick it up and eat it. I don't want to have to pick through it. I haven't got time.
You can pick it up and
food.
eat it.
Huh?
You can pick it up and eat it.
And when Shan's there, she usually cuts it up for me because I get angry having to cut things up.
You can get Sukuk Exara right there, which is.
I'm not eating anything I can't pronounce. Have they got chips?
I think half of these things start for Fenerbahce now.
Fenerbahce got smashed 3-0 at home to Galatasaray today.
Oh, chicken!
While we're talking Turkish stuff, and hello to Mems. While we're talking, it'd be rude not to mention Mem's name while we're talking about Turkish stuff. You know Mems, didn't you? Lovely bloke.
I do. I've never met him in person though, and every time
he's a good looking chap.
Yeah, he's a good. He should come to this. He could probably explain what.
The bloke's loaded.
Probably, yeah, that's true. Lamb ribs right there. That's what you get. That's all you need. But look, come on the Friday the 13th, which is 5 days away. I can't believe it. And enjoy some lamb ribs. So Russ, get over Ryan. Great point. I've invited this bloke to be on with me because for the 3rd week in a row, Danny just can't do it. Tom Selleck, he's here to endorse some shit, and Danny will be back next week. So
on what?
On the Sunday roast, because you're not here, according to Ryan, because he doesn't recognize you.
No, I'm an imposter. A French imposter.
So send us a Twitter. Let us know you're coming, and I mean you don't have to let us know exactly when you're coming because that's private. That's your business. But come to have some lamb ribs. It'll be fun. I'm not signing anything though, so don't get crazy about that. If you bring a shirt and you stick it in my face, I'm not signing it.
No, and unless they.
I know you're just going to go on eBay and sell it. And I can't be having that.
Unless they join your Patreon, then you'll even have their name tattooed on you.
Which reminds me, have we looked at the Patreon in a while? Do you do
how many do you reckon you've sold?
Tremendous numbers. We're doing incredible numbers.
Good. It's probably one of the most ingenious Patreons I've ever seen. It's a work of art.
I just looked at your at Patreon and looked up a Burkamp Wonderland, and I don't see one. Why?
We have got one. But like most things, I only got it so no one else could take it. Like every social media thing we've got a version of. In fact, we've even got another Twitter account called ABW Podcast, and then it has one tweet saying, "This is us, don't worry," before someone goes and steals it, because no one ever gets the AFC pod right. Because back then there was only 4 Arsenal podcasts, and it was easy to do.
Oh, you're right. You do have one, and it's 8 years old.
Yeah.
And you don't support any creators at this moment. And, you know, I've always said, Danny, you are the least supportive person ever.
I know. It's cool. I've got my own personal Patreon, and I used to support people, but now I don't. Fuck them.
You support people in other ways. But
I support them emotionally.
This right here, the most under... I mean, the value is incredible, and no one signs up, and I just don't understand. Because
I've joined.
We have all
the best 10 grand I ever spent.
Yeah, but then you canceled after a month.
Yeah,
because you didn't.
I was broke.
Recurring billing.
I was homeless after that. Read out some of the stuff that you get if you join it. For the top tier.
For the top tier, well, because you might like the middle one because it's really priced more along the lines of what people would be comfortable with.
It's very, as they say in QVC, it's very affordable.
Yes, it's affordable. It's cost effective. It will. It's the perfect Martin Luther King Day gift.
A gift for a child that you don't like.
It's a perfect bank holiday gift, and yeah, for the full plan, you get everything. So you get full access to your choice of Mike or Andy, not both. I mean, you can get 2 memberships if you want that.
You have to alternate if you want both.
Yeah, and full access includes your choice of late night texts of you up. We text the score of the Arsenal games once they go final, which allows you to know whether we've won or not.
Within 2 hours of it finishing.
Yeah, I mean, first I find out from Charles Watts, who has the final score before the game starts. Then you
confirm with Tom that's actually now that Tom's in those circles, and then you get Kayak just to triple check it, and then you get a text sometime later that day.
So it's not just like someone quickly getting out the score; it is incredibly verified. And we might even tell you who scored the goals if we actually score any. But you get early access to the podcast, and imagine what that would be worth for the Sunday roast when we start the Patreon for the Sunday roast, because
you'd see the build up.
You'd see the build up. You'd see approximately 10 minutes before everybody else. Where in the case of the Gooners podcast, I'm just sitting there waiting for Andy to log in, which hasn't happened in a few years. If there was a Patreon for the Sunday roast, you'd get to see this kind of content right here.
Fuck you, you cunt. Load game.
Now we've just given you for free.
I never think about that.
Normally, it's part of. Normally, this kind of content would be $9,999 a month, and I mean, it was much more affordable before the pound lost, value against the dollar.
It's back, baby. It's back 120 to the pound.
Hey, I hope it goes up and up because I've got a lot of pounds right now. I'm losing pounds, but I'm gaining them on the financial side. From for the old flat purchase. But
if anyone's wondering why I called it a C word, that is because I had a drink of water. I went to put it in the bin. It went in the bin, the bottle, and now it's on the floor. Like everything in my life, it ends up on the fucking floor, and then I can't reach it.
Well, and what you also get, you get the not comfortable but limited edition TGP Haynes T-shirt, which I think is not sure if we can zoom in on that. It's a work of art designed by a former podcaster, Andy Rhodes, and
R.I.P.
Completely. Where is it? No, can't see it now. And yeah, I'm not going to be able to find it. So now I've completely screwed the bit up. What else do you get? You get you're allowed to listen to and watch our podcast. That's big. You get compliments.
Yep.
Free user question. Normally a $4,000 charge. You get monthly signed 8x10 photos. I'm not telling you what they're of. Late night texts, final score update, early access pre-show. You get all that stuff that you could also get in the middle one, but you get the T-shirt, you get the early access, and you get the late night text. And it's under 10,000 a month.
I mean, when I did it, the signed photo I got was of the Push You Pull Me from a photo of that from Dr. Dolittle. And I've got that framed. That's an heirloom.
Yeah, I mean, and was that the best $10,000 you ever spent?
Yes.
How
Apart
was
from that time I tried to have Sean assassinated, but failed. No money back guarantee on that one.
We have a user question from the Tampa located Cyanvesh right now. Is Danny trying to join Mafia?
I am. Yes. I thought my family were Italian. Turns out they're not. They're we think German. So don't talk about that.
I thought my family was Jewish, but I've just
No.
gotten some
Turns
good
out
news.
you're,
Gotten some good news recently that that's not the case.
You're Turkish.
I will be Turkish on Friday night.
Look what Demsek has put. How rude. Fat shaming.
All of my. You know what?
2023, Mike, and nothing changes, does it?
No. Demsek still,
Sickening.
Riding us. All right. So tell us, show us your football manager, and I will attempt to duplicate your look while you do so.
Okie dokie. Well, everyone, you know that I'm elbow deep in Football Manager 23. I've not played it properly since 2010, and now I'm playing it properly. And I thought, how interesting would that be if I don't know how you can do that and get hair everywhere. I have to do mine naked. Oh, fuck, I hate hair. And so I have my game, and I am going to do a save of the Arsenal one. So I need a win of ABW. Now, where's it gone? Entire screen. Hold on, why can't I find it? It's not that one. Is that it? Hold on.
This is confusing the hell out of me because right is left and left is right. So this is, I'm really sacrificing for you guys because this is not as easy as it looks.
So there we go. We can see that at the moment the team is called Club Info. There you go, top right, left-hand corner, ABWFC. We're going to be in the South East Counties Division 1, which is the 10th tier of English football. The kits I did change. I having to go backwards and forwards and make a new save and do it again. But the kits were our proper Arsenal colours, and the stadium Highbury. Obviously, where else would we play? I can edit. I've got an editor, so I can go and edit it. But a lot of the stuff you can't edit it in the game. You have to edit it with the pre-game editor, and then once you get into the game, edit it again. So if I go to, it's only some of them at the moment, go to the squad, and I go to Mike Feinberg, which is there, and you can see that he's the 13th of March. All of us are going to be 17 or 18 years old, and I'm changing everyone's stats so they're all going to be 5 or
I'm
10.
born the 12th of March, by the way, but thanks a lot. Thanks a lot for fucking it up.
Danny said, "Oh, you said this 12th of March." And everyone gets to pick what position they play in. So Mike is right-footed, 5'11", 17 stone 4 pounds. Now I'm not sure. I think I was going to put everybody at the same weight, but their individual heights, because otherwise it's not going to be good. So Mike plays right midfield, right wing, and striker. And then you're going to have a look at his history. That's another important thing, that it will only ever say.
I got bags of pace. I have bags of pace.
Well, that would be the same for everyone. Contract details. He's got a contract with ABWFC until 2032, which means none of you fuckers are allowed to leave.
What am I on? What wage packet?
You're on £100 a week.
£100?
Yeah.
Wow, that's fantastic.
Well, it will be £5. Some of the others are a £5. But there's here it says work permit, so I'm going to have to put you down. I'm going to have to put you down that you're allowed to play for England because of a family relation. I have to do that with everybody. And then we go down to Femster.
Well, I would play for England by choice, so you don't have to.
I didn't know Femster is 6 foot. So he's 17 stone 4 as well. So obviously just put in a number. I think I put 200.
Did you go through a verification process with anybody?
Even some of them give me their passwords and their numbers for their bank accounts. So Femi is centre back, right back, right midfield. Who else have we got in there? Jeff Hullenfunden, 6'2", striker, attacking midfielder. And then who else have we got? I haven't done them all yet because when you do set up a game, you can only have a certain amount of wages. So I'm having to make a load of players as free transfers and then transfer them across. Nick Hutchinson. I don't even know why that's in the game. That's nothing to do with me. The Jockmeister. The 20th of May, 9 days before Sean. All the way down the left-hand side. So he's looking good. But there you go. That's the gist of it. Stan the Man. Chris is there. And also, I think I may well have got people's information. Where have I put? Taunton, place of birth. England.
He was born at the Tollington?
Daniel Cowan, London.
I'm going to die at the Tollington, but I wasn't born at the Tollington.
Josh Dahl, Bath, England.
Brighton.
Oh, here we go. Mike Feinberg, Fairfax, VA, USA.
Fairfax,
language is spoken, English fluent, Hebrew basic.
This is looking good, by the way.
Yes. Well, there you go. That's all I've got. We've got an under-21 team and an under-18s team as well. But it is taking me so long to do that. So quick game and exit. There we go. That is going to be the... Oi, amigo!
It's not even remotely level, but...
How's Mrs. Feinberg going to look at that? Or she just go and just walk off?
Well,
she might like it.
It so happens that that my daughter and her boyfriend are in town for the week. They are at the theater tonight at the Kennedy Center in Washington, and I'm picking them up. And I'm going to keep this and just see if they notice. It's going to be dark. I'm sure they won't notice. Well, they might. And the horror that will be on their face will be palpable.
There's my little one. Cost me a tenner. Little rechargeable malarkey. I put that round it so I don't drop it because fuck knows. I drop every fucking cunt. And all I need to do is when I'm doing the back of my head, drop it down the back of me. Then it'll be between the chair and my ass, and it'll be. And here's my big one. And then it'll be sat there gnawing away at my ass, and I have to ring someone to come and fucking save it. Because
do you use it down there? Here's my paper towel with the hair.
Oh,
I used protection.
Did you?
So that I would, and I moved my keyboard out of the way. So
that's
I have a habit over the 402 shows that we've done now, and I didn't even realize the 400th was gone. But of ruining keyboards and computers by spitting on them and spilling on them and various and sundry.
They make you do that. It's their own bloody. What's your sideburn situation like? What have you done with them?
Shaved them. I shouldn't have done that.
Got to have pork lamb chops, but then I'm just going to let mine grow back after this.
Well, here, let me try to put them back on.
Bit of glue. Bit of yoo-hoo.
I'll just slap some glue on. Oh, I look ridiculous.
At least I let mine grow. Look how long mine is. It's.
Yeah, my beard wasn't at its normal length that I let it grow to, so it just kind of looks, And I'm despite no matter what you ask, I'm not shaving it closer in. I'm not.
No one needs to see a Mugabe.
Well, that's the generous thing to call it. So
yes. So
I'm excited to break my duck on for the ABW football team.
Yes. There's going to be about 30 of us there. I'm not sure whether to put Welsh Jason in because he might come and kill me. But it's going to have... Hernandez will be in there because he is... we're trying to get a little bit of diversity because apparently that's the in thing. And I'm not sure whether to have him as Mexican or Guatemalan.
I was going to say, what football team couldn't use a Mexican Guatemalan? I mean, the combo, he's got to at least have some quality.
I'll stick Andy in there, and I have all of ABW. And
you need a goal. You need a goalkeeper, so Andy will do it.
Oh, I've seen him against you with the penalties. I think we'll stick with Mr. Stokes in goal. Stokes. What else have you been up to then? Sad news. While we were giggling away in September, my mum had 2 sisters and a brother, and now she has none. Margaret died in September of cancer. wouldn't stop smoking. Cancer killed her. Then she was 81, and then her older sister, 83, Mary in Ireland, the matriarch of the family. She had real bad arthritis and couldn't get up. Poor woman had a brain stroke, and then died the next day. I mean, I don't know them. Last time I met her was 40 years ago, but my mum is quite sad.
Yeah,
understandably. Yeah, so
please,
there you go.
Please give her a hug from me.
I've not seen her. I've not seen her for 2 weeks. I think she's got the cold at the moment. That's why she's not been over for that. But yeah, people tend to avoid me when they get a cold, just because I don't like being ill. So yeah, Sean's got, on a positive note, Sean's now got a cat called Nala, which is I think it's a Hindu name, but it's a character from The Lion King. It's a black female kitten with one ginger paw, and Sean is loving it. So her mum is up. They've been up there for a week looking after it.
Simba's love interest, I believe.
Was it?
Yeah.
Well, there you go. What have you been up to then? I see you've been pod whoring, been banging out shows at an alarming rate.
You know, I'm very inconsistent when it comes to podcasting, but yeah, I'm preparing for another trip over, so you never know what's going to come out of me on those trips, both from a content perspective and just from a body perspective.
Talking about coming at you, are your poos smaller now and less frequent?
Maybe less frequent, but no. I mean, I have a few pictures of. No, I'm just kidding. I did not upload any of those. No, I don't really know. I guess
I only poo every other day. I eat such a small amount of food. I eat the same thing every day. There's these lovely new breaded chicken things. They're £4 for two from Tesco's. I can't remember what they're called. Maybe a burger joint or something. It makes it sound shit, but they're not. They're proper chicken. I have 2 of those and 4 Bannisters jacket potatoes. They're about that kind of size, and they're halves. So 2 whole ones, but they're in halves, and they come with cheese in them. I have that every night. That's all I...
Mute! Thank you, dear.
I mean, you have no idea what goes on pre-show.
What the fuck was that? I was talking German. I was going, thank you very much, dear.
I mean, I don't know what that was, but it was not...
The worst one is when I'm in the kitchen. My microwave is a mirrored microwave, and I'm putting stuff in, and I close the door while it's microwaving, and I go, and I do things.
Are you warming up water in the microwave? Is that what you're doing?
Yeah, I can't afford a kettle. No, I'm warming up the nothing actually. I cook everything in the oven. I cook it on in the oven on a griddle thing. So then all the fat, there's no fat on any of the stuff I eat at the moment, so it drops through. But I've got 6 packs of bacon in the fridge, and they're nearly all out of date. Fuck Christmas, bastards. So what have you been doing then? What's your plans?
Well, I've been preparing. I've been podcasting. We had a very enjoyable pod on Thursday with Sophie, and no, it wasn't with Sophie actually. She'll be on Tuesday, but the preliminaries of the FA Cup of football phrases, which I've come up with a lot of stupid ideas for the Gooners podcast over the years. Andy will be the first person to tell you that. Danny will be the second.
Ain't that the truth?
One of them was to shave a mustache during the show, so I would like
another podcast first.
Yeah,
not only did you break our record for the shortest podcast, you're now doing barbarism. I don't know if that's the actual name of it.
But the one good idea I've come up with in 7 years is the Football Phrases FA Cup, and it's basically a competition like no other. And if you didn't see it, go back and watch it and prepare. And we can actually review some of the results tonight if you want. But then the big one is on Tuesday. But we had James from AFTV, lovely guy. I love that. James is fantastic people. And who else did we have? We had Daniel Robert, who has been asking for the Football Phrases FA Cup for a year and a half now, and so I figured we'd let him be the judge in the prelims. Aston was on with me, and we also had it was me, Aston, the 2 of them, and then we had the chat. and a field of 90 became 64. And I just, it's so exciting what's happening in this FA Cup right now.
Who won the other years? Mark has got quite the potty mouth in the chat, and Loki's had another one. People try and get around the swear filter.
Well, that's why. That's why I'm not. That's why I'm not seeing any comments, because they're all going into Danny's filter, and
not mine. It's YouTube. The bastard.
Well,
so what new ones? Who won the other years? That's the first question.
I don't remember exactly. I can go back and watch. I think Pony might have won it one year. But the thing is, you get different matchups. You get different sensibilities. You know, the economy changes. The world becomes more or less woke, and so many of these phrases just mean things differently to you.
They fizzle out.
Yeah, they, you know, or they become even better, and we've just kept adding and adding and adding to them. So this was the North version of the bracket, and let's see here. We had some real, you know, devastating losses here. Onion Bag.
Don't tell me that was out.
Got knocked out for first hurdle. We so on Tuesday, which I couldn't get anybody good to be guests on Tuesday, so we settled for Peter Drury, Lee Dixon, and Sophie.
Oh, don't you hate it when you have to slum?
Yeah, I mean,
no one's heard of.
At the point where I'm scraping the bottom of the barrel now, but I mean, and because what the hell would any of the three of them know about football phrases?
Cool.
But anyway, I'm looking forward to Nouse versus Handbags. I mean, that's going to be a matchup of just massive proportions. We got asking questions. Who's taking, you know, Top Bins knocked out half a chance. That was a close one. That was decided by the chat, and I wasn't happy with the result. But I'm not going to meddle. I'm not a man of your word. I'm not corrupt. I'm not FIFA. I'm not Gianni Feinberg. Not even Gianni Judges. So, you know, had your tails up, beat form goes out the window, and now has a huge matchup on Tuesday against Purchase. As in, but a little too much Purchase or not enough Purchase. We got Early Doors winning another a tiebreaker in the chat against Hairdryer Treatment. Going to go up against Done and Dusted now. We have Rampant against Rose Zed. Just bought tickets today, by the way, because we go to as much football as we can, even when we hate the teams we're watching. But bought tickets for Manchester City hosting Spurs.
Aren't you seeing QPR as well?
We're seeing QPR the day before the United game, but and 2 days before that, we're going up to Manchester because I actually enjoy the city of Manchester. The football museum there is hilarious.
Doesn't Big Kev live there?
Kev lives there. So if he's in town, we'll hope to see him. But we're going to go to the football museum and horse around there and spend the day. But we're going to that game, and our tickets are literally in Rosette. And so, you know, but I don't know if they have enough to beat Rampant in this one. Home and Dry, Caught in Two Minds, made it through the preliminaries. They got tough matchups.
Any VAR involved?
Couple of the 3-2s were very, very close. They went right down. Big one between Diabolical and In the Ascendancy. And
I said that, didn't I? Before the show started, I went, some prick who could barely speak English. Some manager, the boys did well, the lads did well, they done well, and this done well. On the Ascendancy.
Yeah, there were two massive tiebreakers here between Bounce Back Ability and Shambles. I couldn't believe that. I thought Shambles. Maybe if I had done it Shambolic, then Shambolic.
Bounce Back Ability is because it's Chris Kamara and he's not well at the moment. That has nostalgic feelings to it, but it's not something anybody uses anymore.
See what I said about sometimes the timing impacts it.
Yeah.
But do you think it has enough to beat Flatters to Deceive though? I mean, Flatters to Deceive to me is
one of the all-time classics.
As English, it's English AF. And
all the way. Have you ever thought of doing an American version?
No, but someone 7 a.m. kickoff on Twitter.
Oh yes.
Just posed the question today, like, are there any? It's kind of the opposite of this, but in a sense, it's not because we're glorifying these phrases. He's like, what American version of football phrases do people absolutely hate when Americans say them? Like overtime,
What's the one where they're putting it in the top right hand corner? What do they call that?
Top 90 instead of top.
That's
bin.
it. Cunts.
Yeah. We had top bins, I think, on this one. And where was it? Yep, top bins is through to asking questions. We got.
So the big show is going to be Tuesday. Everyone has to watch that.
Yeah, Pony enters the contest and has to go up against didn't know much about it.
You need a spreadsheet. You need a spreadsheet, a Google spreadsheets on all of this of previous years of winners of statistics, and you need to spend 8 hours of your life doing it for no one to care about the results.
Well,
I can see you doing that.
No, I do. Because I do it for you, the fan, not you, but you.
Yes,
the fan who loves
you.
the fact that I have something weird on my fingertip. I don't know what that is. I think it's
poop.
Looks like I'm gonna die.
Oh.
So that's Tuesday. If you're from America, you're used to hearing Lee and Peter together on a slightly larger,
slightly
larger production level, but you're gonna get them together on Tuesday night on the Gunners podcast.
Good question there from Sai.
Yeah.
Do you keep hitting the bell when you say those words? Because my God, it must be
the bell is suspended for those shows because otherwise you wouldn't. I mean, the last thing I need to be doing is having Peter Drury, Sophie, and Lee Dixon on the pod and
giving them tinnitus
and
tinnitus
and just overrunning them with this every 5 seconds. So I have the sense.
You should get a glass case, put it in the background, and put the bell in the case. Lock it away.
I'll just wear it on my head for the podcast.
Yes. It looks better than your hammocker.
Now I look like I'm wearing one of those Tibetan hats or the Morocco or like the Mongolian hats or something.
Fucking Tibet. Jesus Christ. I hate the place. Fucking Tibetans going on all fucking day.
They
don't know they're born.
Do you know who Howard Stern is?
Of course I fucking do. He's an arsehole now. He used to be brilliant. He used to be mayor.
He used to be an asshole who was brilliant. Now he's a nice guy who's still brilliant. But anyway, they do a bit every January where they cut together all the times in the last year that he said he hated something. And they cut it into like a 3-minute audio production. And it's so funny because we need to do the same thing for you. Because I think every 10 seconds you're talking about, I hate the bed. I hate my beard. I hate my cat. Whatever you say. So we're looking for somebody to download all of our shows, watch them all, and clip them, and then hand it over to me so I can take credit for doing it. Please. Do you watch the FA Cup draw today?
Nope.
Did anyone watch it and just know what was coming? And
well, at the moment I'm going to bed. I'm playing Football Manager. I've had it a month and I've done 179 hours on it. That's how much I'm playing it. 10 hours a day. And with Gloucester City, they were slightly off course for the moment. When I took over Gloucester City, they were in the Conference North. Fuck knows why they were in the North. And there's 24 teams in the league. They were 19th, just away from it. Saved them from relegation. Next season, got them to the semi-final of the FA Trophy, got them to the third round of the FA Cup, and I've got them mid-table. And then this season, I am 1 point behind the leaders in the league.
Not bad. I've just seen the that's got to be Sebi, the WWF card. I think you've showed it before, but the one you used on your We Are Live tweet.
Oh, my trading card.
Yeah.
Yes.
Do you have that? Can you put that in the?
I will do if you carry on talking about what you were talking about. You were talking about the FA Cup draw. I should go and get it.
I mean, just as every Premier League team ended up getting a division or a League Two team and a National League team. Yeah, Dan Gillies the Jew and Mike Heenan, or is it and Mike the Jew Heenan?
Yeah. Yeah,
Dan Gillies the Jew doesn't really make any sense.
Yes, it's perfect. You can see my little my mouse mat there, which is 1 meter wide. Lovely.
Your hairy arms.
That's an actual.
Is that shadow or is that hair? or is that a bruise on your left arm there?
We don't talk about that. Carry on.
So yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna say it's fixed.
Are we
but,
home or away?
We are away.
Oh, fucking hell.
I mean, first we got to beat Oxford. Let's be
They're
clear.
shit.
But once that happens, we are traveling to Manchester City 2 weeks before we play them. Maybe that could be a good thing in a sense, but you know, there's the age-long debate, although it hasn't been so much of a debate lately because normally it's one of our only chances at silverware. There's no possibility or hope for a league title, but in this season we've got Paul Nell saying, bless you, by the way, saying play the kids tomorrow. Top 4 Europa League, Premier League titles way more important, and we don't have the depth to compete with City. I mean, are you ready to just give up on the cup? I mean,
yes, I am indeed, sir. Concentrate on the Europa League and on the Premier League, and do a Premier League Europa League double. That's all she wrote.
The first 2 rounds of the FA Cup, or for us, the 3rd and 4th round, they have their own dedicated game weekend. So it's not like it's a 2-game week with these games. So, I mean,
but a nice week in Dubai would do everyone a treat, especially if they take us.
I'm not for blowing. I'm not. I mean, look, play the kids in this game, fine, because if the kids can't beat them, then so be it. But not in the next one. Don't just chuck it. The FA Cup's too big of a piece of our identity, and no, I'm not for chucking the FA Cup. I agree that it's more important to win the other competitions, but you don't chuck the FA Cup. Chuck the League Cup. Oh, we
really
did
chuck that.
Yeah,
Brighton beaters. The Matt Hatter says, is the Football Manager the £10 one? No, it is the one that is done by Sports Interactive, and it's usually about 40 quid. I paid $29.99, but then I also paid £7 for the editor. But you can just look around for deals if you're going to get it. But if you haven't played it before, oh mama, is it deep? I'm only finding stuff out now, 180 hours into the game, that I could do, like marking people, sending them on their wrong foot, tackling them hard. And I'm still mentoring groups. I won't bore you with any more, but fucking hell, it's deep. It's overwhelming. And I'm an expert. I've been playing that since 1993 on the Amiga when it was Football Manager.
I played a DOS-based version of Football Manager in college. So that was 1993. It was buggy, but yeah, I signed.
It might have been called Championship Manager.
Arsenal. I signed Bergkamp for Arsenal, and then 2 years later, he signed for Arsenal. So
Arteta's just been sacked in my one, and I am Christmas 2024.
What have you done?
Me? I'm in the fucking Conference South. No one gives us North. I don't give a fuck what I'm doing.
Melvin, you are cordially invited to join us for dinner on Friday night, by the way. We can celebrate Shabbat together. We can light the candles at a Turkish restaurant on we're all 56 of us are going to be at Yildiz on Blackstock Road. So reach out to me because if you're in the area, as I know you normally are, I would like to see you.
Hello, Melvin.
Good old Melvin. I love me some Melv.
Does a really good show.
Does
on the what's Richard's channel called? Asked over and over and over again. I know you don't get on with him, but he does a good show where he just Melvin looks back at different seasons, and he recently did 82, 83, 83, 84 when we were fucking awful.
You should have told me. I would have gotten Stuart Robson on, so he could have given you the
He got mentioned.
Did he? Yeah.
Yes.
Stuart. One of my favorite guests, even though he's a little angry at certain things in times, but
remember his anti-Wenger tirade about 5 years ago.
He does not pull punches, though. I mean, he says it like he is, and I respect that. So yeah.
But now he's getting up to the seasons. I remember. I've just got down, and when I sent Luke up in the loft to get a Christmas tree when there was already one down, and he found a massive big, like an A4 binder, but it's that kind of. For fuck's sake, about that kind of wide. So it's A4 that wide, and it's all full of shoot. I've got 4 that are 4 that are match, and 3 that are shoot, and they're personalised with my name on the side of them, all from the mid-80s.
I'm always, because obviously I've mentioned before, I lived the 88 to 89, 89, 90 seasons, and I knew all those players. There's this big kind of gap in my Arsenal knowledge about the early to mid 80s. Some of it has been filled in by 89 when they kind of talk about how the team was switched around. But what
I favor there because it was shit.
Well, but what I'm not wanting to engulf myself in it, but it is, you should learn the history of the club, and I would love for more people who just started following the club during Wenger or during the the last 10 or 12 years to learn about the the late 80s and early to mid 90s. But one really good, but a really good piece of literature that I bought on an audiobook and listened my entire way down to Florida on the drive was Paul Davis's book.
Yes.
Fantastic book. I'm only 2/3 of the way through it, and I want to finish it before we try to get Paul on the podcast to talk about it. But great book. And if you want to learn about kind of the early to mid 80s and what led up to those famous teams of the late 89-90 season, and then kind of what happened with him and the club and George Graham afterwards, it's fascinating. really
John Howe, lovely bloke, but things did. I mean, he brought Charlie Nicholas to the club, I suppose. I think it was him. Charlie signed in 84. I think he was manager in 84. Or maybe it's the end of the Terry Neal days. I'm not sure.
Terry Neal.
Talking about ex-players, Gianluca Vialli. Oh my God. That got me. I mean, him and Ray Wilkins, two of my favorite players.
I've never seen a guy play for one of our rivals so beloved by everybody. I mean, I got to plead ignorance a little bit on Vialli. I mean, I've heard of him. I know he played for Chelsea. I know he was a brilliant player, but he isn't really on my radar screen of historical greats.
But Italy's finest.
But the discussion about him after his death, I mean, and I'm almost 50 now. When I start seeing people dying in their 50s, it gets to me. 40s have gotten to me for a long time, because that's just like holy shit, that's too early to die from something like medical. So what was the story there? But 50s now, I'm like, it's.
Well, he had pancreatic cancer in 2018, and then I think 2020 he got the all clear, and then it came back in 21, and he's been dealing with it ever since. But he won the league with Sampdoria, and then he won the league with Juventus. And then 2 years later, he came and signed for Chelsea. And you remember thinking, fuck me. Chelsea have got Hullet. They've got Vialli. They've got Dan Petrescu. They had Didier Deschamps. All of this lot. I'm thinking, fuck. Then we got Bergkamp, so they could all fuck off. But it's very rarely a player passing away. Because normally, like you say, they're much older than us. But Ray Wilkins really got me. I met Ray Wilkins once. So Barnet v... I don't know. Oh, Barnet v QPR, and he was taking a corner, and I went. I sat by the corner. I went, "Oh, I never asked for autographs, but he was such a great player." I said, "All right, Ray." He said, "All right, mate." I said, "Any chance you can sign my program?" Meaning after the game, and he said, "A little bit busy taking a corner now, mate." Said, come find me after the game, but he got man of the match, and so he was doing radio interviews about Niall Quinn. Tell me to fuck off there as well. You come back to Arsenal, Niall? Fuck off. Beckham tell me to fuck off.
Not very nice.
No, Loki mentioned Mark Overmars here. He had a small stroke, didn't he? A couple of weeks ago. So he's getting better. But I think my aunt had a brain stroke. And I don't know if that's where they all are. I should imagine they are. But
well, yeah, a stroke is basically it happens when your carotid artery gets too clogged up and restricts the blood flow to your brain,
and then starves it of oxygen.
Yes,
and then you're fucked. But hopefully Overmars will be all right.
Yeah, yes. I mean, maybe he was so happy that of all the money that they got for selling Antony, and he just couldn't handle it.
I don't think he's got anything to do with Ajax anymore.
Oh, all right, well.
He was the director of football.
That was a doubly ignorant, stupid comment from me then.
Yeah.
So Jordan Nobbs. As long as we're kind of going around the news, I don't know if you saw this, but there was a video, very important video going around about how Jordan Nobbs was wooed away from Arsenal.
To fucking Villa. I mean,
To
what
Villa.
the fuck's that about? I mean,
Well,
I'd pay not to live in Birmingham.
I'll show you what it's about.
Wow.
It was the douchebag. He took her.
Emery did well today, didn't he?
He took her. Yeah. Apparently, what did they lose to Stevenage?
I mean, there was a bloke, Mr. Bacon. He's a Villa fan, and he's been on our pod, and we've been on his a couple of times. And he said, "How do you think we're going to get on with Emery?" And he said, "Hopefully he's going to win us a cup and get us into Europe." I went, "You'll avoid relegation, and that'll be it. But then the football he plays will bore you to tears, and he will be gone by the end of next season."
Well, they just
lost. No, he's going to get us in Europe. He fucking won't.
But they're not getting in Europe through finishing 7th or 6th, and therefore he's pretty much had to win the FA Cup to get into Europe, and that's gone now.
And who was the Liverpool player they've got from Barcelona? Whose name was completely?
Coutinho.
Coutinho. I think he's played about 17 games this season. No goals, no assists.
He looked the business though when he first came to Villa.
Oh, he certainly did, because Emery wasn't the fucking manager.
Speaking of failed Spaniards, have you followed Hector Bellerin's descendancy at Barcelona?
I was looking into it.
I feel bad for the guy. I have no disdain or hatred for the guy, but he's not a footballer anymore.
No, they played in the Copa del Rey. They played a team called Intercity FC.
Yes, I saw that.
I've never
won, right?
Yeah, nearly won. I've never heard of them. Apparently, it's full of. It's like the opposite of a feeder club for Barcelona. Loads of the players there are all ex-Barca, so I imagine that it must be in Barcelona. I couldn't find any info on it. But as a young man there, used to be at Barcelona, scored a hat-trick against them. They are a 3rd or 4th tier Spanish side. They're tiny. And they barely beat them in extra time 4-3. And Bellerin played the whole game. And then remember Lucas Perez.
Did Bellerin play the whole game? So maybe it's just in the league. Maybe it's just in La Liga. He played the very first game of the season,
and then he's on his ass.
I think he's had maybe 23 minutes of substitute appearances in 2 games since then.
He's using him for the cup games. But Lucas Perez, we got him from
Deportivo
somewhere, and then we loaned him back to Deportivo. Then he went to West Ham. Then he went to another club, and then he went to Alaves. And he's paid 500 grand out of his own money to leave Alaves to sign for 3rd division Deportivo La Coruña, his old team, who won the Spanish league in '91. They used to be a really decent side, and because they're thinking about mid-table. And he went there, played his debut today, scored 2 goals and got an assist, but paid $500,000 pesetas to go back to Deportivo, and they're his boyhood club, and he's going to save him. He's turning it around.
Yep, and they're going to win everything, and they're going to win the Champions League in 3 years. And meanwhile, Unai Emery leaves Villarreal. Villarreal turns around, beats Real Madrid today. Yesterday.
Voila.
So
lovely.
Craziness. Football, I'll tell you, football, Danny, is a crazy game.
Like Demsek puts here, Alba, right. What an escape. Fuck you know, that bloke is an absolute. Chelsea going, oh, it's great, we got him, he's brilliant. Look what we all said, he's a lazy fucker, he's there for the money, he does not give a fuck about you or your club.
He was a sub who was subbed out the other day. I mean, yes, there was an injury sub that brought him in the first place. But I mean, you know,
did he even play for him today?
Nobody played for Chelsea today. They at the halftime coverage on ESPN here. They had Craig Burley. They had somebody else who I wasn't sure who it was, but former Chelsea player, I think, as well. They were
no, he didn't.
Tearing into them, just and I've just seen something about Christian Pulisic that came up.
I mean, looking at Man City, they had Ortega in goal, and then out of the rest of their team, they had Des Walker at right back, Laporte, Rodri, Silva, Foden, Alva, and Mahrez. So that's only half a full team. Meanwhile, Chelsea had a full strength team apart from the centre back.
Well, no, Chelsea played two young kids, I think, in the back line. And
Bashir, Humphreys, and the other one is someone Hall, Eddie Hall, the world's strongest man. They played at left back, which is always good.
Yeah. Well,
sad times.
What would you say about this? Danny and Mike, is City better off without Haaland?
Yes. Went a couple of times. Remember back in the days with Ian Wright and Henry, when they didn't play, we struggled because everything was designed to go through them and score goals, which is why Arsenal is such a great team now, because everybody is scoring goals. And they have gone from winning back-to-back titles by not playing the main striker to struggling 5 points behind the mighty Reds, because they everything is through Haaland. And when he does get an injury, and that ankle is going to go sometime this season, and he is going to miss a whole load of games.
Well, let's hope so. But you think they're going to play better without him?
Yep. Well, they haven't got they got that young Alvarez up front, or whatever his name was. I've just said it and I've completely forgotten it already.
Yeah, Alvarez. The
Argentinian
yes. scored a penalty today. What else we got?
Aren't they? Aren't somebody looking at that? There was something I was going to say about Aubameyang. I don't know. Ronaldo signed for Al Nassr, £176 million a year wages, and he's living in a 5-star hotel. Him and his entourage have 17 fucking rooms in the hotel, which is £250,000 a week. That's not even included. Maybe that's included in the 176. I don't know. And we thought you had all that money. Fucking hell. You could buy the whole of Highbury for that in a week's wages.
I ain't got no Ronaldo money. Come on. I have like Mbappe money, but not Ronaldo money. That's ridiculous.
Good. A decent level of... because I'm having a bit of a stretch. Foot Gaming says, Mike, who's the best looking female in Hollywood? For me, it's Ana de Armas.
I don't know who that is.
No, me neither.
Let's take a look. Ana de Armas.
Dempsey says, what was Ronaldo on about South Africa? Well, Saudi Arabia, South Africa, SA, isn't it? So, Mark says, do they not have FFP in Saudi Arabia? No, all they have is oil, sand, and all the money you could eat.
It's purely a play at getting the World Cup in 2030. That's all this is about. And he'll be their ambassador. I don't know what that means, but yeah. I'm not going to answer the question, Fuck Gaming, because I do not objectify women by their looks.
Oh, I objectify them. Kat Dennings, my perfect woman. She is absolutely stunning. And if she's watching, Kat,
well, we know that she does.
She does. She probably does. I hope she's an Arsenal fan.
But
she is an absolute delight.
There's too many on my list. I can't. I can't think of any names right now, but I'm pretty sure.
None at all?
No.
Oh, duh.
No, can't do it. Because I respect.
I'm a gentleman. You're a gentleman, aren't you?
I'm a gentleman with a creepy mustache.
Mustaches don't lie.
And someone with this level of influence over other people's thoughts and actions should.
Lee Dixon might be watching this and pick up bad habits if he did.
Right. Well, I don't want Peter Drury to cancel on me for Tuesday because of something I said about an actress. They have to be looking female in Hollywood. Sophie Nicolau.
Oh, actually, who's that one? She was in the one with the robots. What's it called? Transformers. Oh, she's dating that rapper.
I don't remember her name, but no,
she's lovely.
No. Come on.
I should let her know. Might make her day.
Come on.
I wonder if those women get our favorite Arsenal podcast, and they're talking about us right now.
Yep. Well,
Megan
I don't mind.
Fox.
I don't mind being objectified for my
No,
talent.
you objectify me all day long.
Yeah,
Margot Robbie, another one who's I didn't used to like her because I thought she was South African and I can't stand that accent. Turns out she's Australian, so I like her again. Tell you what, I have been on a binge of Nicolas Cage films.
Nicolas Cage.
Fucking hell. It's interesting keeping a list of all the films that I've watched, and I'm going to share this with you because God knows we've got fuck all else to do.
You are the
window.
the list master general.
There's a Chrome tab. Films watched. Now, I'll just keep adding to this. So 2021, I watched 129 films, and the average rating I gave them was 5.1. Last year, 89 films.
I'm squinting to see it. Hold on.
What are you doing?
I gotta put my glasses on.
Oh.
No, now I look ridiculous. I didn't look ridiculous before, but now I do. I still can't read that. Oh, here we go.
If I do this, there we go. Bit. Hold on, I can do this as well. Wait there.
I don't think I've heard of any of these.
Anyway, go down to the bottom, which is this year, and I have watched The Weatherman with Nicolas Cage, Wind Talkers, Family Man, very good, Tia Leone, woof. Then I watched Knives Out 2, Glass Onion, City of Angels, never heard of it, Meg Ryan, very good.
That one I've heard of.
Yes.
Dennis Franz. God, you break out the stars in the order of 1, 2, and 3?
Only because then I can see of if I want to see how many of their films. It's stars that I've heard of. Like sometimes there's people in film that I've never heard of, and I won't put them on my list. But these are how much I like them. Like Christian Bale, Amsterdam. Fuck me, that goes on a bit. Gone in 60 Seconds, another Nicolas Cage one. Bridget Jones's Diary, Scrooge, and Elf were all Christmas films with Sean.
Now, are you watching these during the play of Football Manager? Because otherwise,
no, I watch these while I watch a film while I'm eating dinner. I watch TV shows while I'm doing FM. And I watched all the Star Trek films, one after the other. And I've also put their rating. And then I got bored and thought, how much is the box office? But then I've only just started doing the box office thing. And I just cut and paste the Wikipedia, what it's about.
You have the plot. Oh, okay. So you cut and paste that. You didn't.
Yeah.
You don't.
I don't. The only bit here that isn't mine is just the rating. But then if I go to hold on, I'm going to change the size of this.
So over a 2-week period, you watched every Star Trek.
Yeah, watched one a night, and most of them were shit. And then I can go to this column. Fuck off, you twat. I go to this column, and then I'll do it by Z to A. Go back up to the top. This is what everybody wants to know. Best films I've seen.
The Father.
Oh, fucking hell. What's the director? I didn't put the director there, you dickhead.
Rocky IV is one of the best films.
I'm going to cut you off in a minute, young man. Now, put it this way. There we go. For The Father. Magnificent. Isn't the best one. Nobody. It's so good. I've watched it twice. True Romance. Forgot how good it was. Stunning film. Fury. Again, wonderful. Rocky IV. I could watch that once a week, every week. I've not watched the new version of it. He's redone it.
So the Rocky IV version, oh, never mind. You have the director now there. I was like, there's Star One.
Rocky IV isn't the new one, but I will watch the new one. Hacksaw Ridge, stunning film.
Rocky IV is the one with the Russian, right?
Yeah.
And that's one of the best films you've ever seen?
Yeah. I mean, this is only listed films that I've seen since the beginning of 2021. But Rocky IV is in my top 10.
Rocky IV makes that. Wow. Okay.
Rocky IV makes it into my top 10 films ever. Nobody, again, watched it because it's fucking brilliant. Watched it with Anna. Talladega Nights. Forgot how brilliant that was. Stunning film. Elf. I mean, who doesn't like Elf? One of the greatest Christmas films ever. And then Semi-Pro. Again, Will Ferrell. Brilliant. The Dig. Only got an 8 out of 10. It's brilliant. The Map of Tiny Perfect Things. Lovely. Victoria and Abdul. Amazing. Grand Budapest Hotel. I thought I'd hate that, but fantastic. Falling Down. You must have seen that, Michael Douglas.
I've seen part of it. I've actually never watched the whole thing through, but
Great film.
It looks like a good film. It looks disturbing as fuck, though.
LA Story, A Promising Young Woman. See, Promising Young Woman, I've got no idea what it's about, so I have to highlight that.
I have a feeling I know what it's about.
Carrie was a drunk, and oh yes, very good film. Boring until near the end, and you go, oh fuck! Now that is a fucking ending. A Star Is Born.
All right, hold on a second. You gave Rocky IV a 9 and Fever Pitch an 8. Come on.
Too much smoking in Fever Pitch.
That's what does it for you?
Yeah. Well, no, it's just there's a lot of in Fever Pitch that is boring.
Well, because you don't like the parts that are about the relationship and
that's
not
it.
Football.
He knows me too well. I am not. I skip when films come to the lovey-dovey stuff and the relationships. I skip through them.
I know. I'm noticing a trend where like most of your top ranked movies, Star 1 and Star 2, are both men. Not every one of them, but most of them. And so
Jessica Chastain, she is stunning. Went for a phase of her. Molly's Game, brilliant. And then Ms. Sloane, also really good.
All right, here I got a bone to pick with you about Rocky 3 as well.
Yeah.
I loved Rocky 3. I thought it was the best of the Rockies.
All right.
But there's no way Hulk Hogan is Star 2 and Mr. T is Star 3.
No, there are people that I've heard of. I'm not going to put people in there that I don't know. Right,
but I'm just saying Mr. T was literally the foil of the movie. Hulk Hogan has a relatively bit part in it, and you've given him higher billing than Mr. T.
Now then, without looking, I'm going to go and find on Wikipedia, and this might explain to you why I've done it right here. Go Wikipedia and then Rocky 3 and see what order it brings the people up in.
It might be by order of appearance, but that's not.
Yeah, it brings up Mr. T before Hulk Hogan.
Right.
I mean, I'm not going to put his wife in there, or Burt Young, or Carl Weathers, or Meredith, because they're in all of the films.
Okay, let me just tell you that when it says starring on Wikipedia,
yeah,
Hulk Hogan's not even on there.
No, cast.
Well, in the part where it says who it's starring, it says Sylvester Stallone, Talia Shire, Burt Young, Carl Weathers, Burgess Meredith.
Mr. T comes before Hulk Hogan.
Yeah. Well, he should, but you've given him.
Well, it doesn't really matter.
It matters to me. Right? It matters to this to stupid looking me. You need to change that right now. You need to change that right now.
Hold on, I'm going to move this one. Get it out of the way. Oh, for fuck's sake. Let's just move at a fucking million mile an hour, shall we? You fucking dickhead. Because it's all too fucking crunched up. So I'm going to get this one and then move it there. So all the stars. Now, Star Trek. Where is it? S for Star Trek. Right. See, I've got William Shatner and then Nimoy. And then I got bored of putting all those in there. So then I started putting the other people in the third place. Stephen Collins. I've got no idea who Stephen Collins is, and I've got no idea who.
But I don't have any.
Is.
I don't have any issue with having Shatner first, Nimoy second, and then the random.
Yeah, my point is with my stars, I just list people that I know.
I forgot
Lawrence
Alley was
Luckenbill. I mean, who the fuck is that? That's why normally I wouldn't put those in. Kim Cattrall, in The Undiscovered Country. What a dog shit film that was. Anyway, that's boring people. Let's fucking launch that out the window and get back to
in the chat. For those of you that are still awake, is there any reason whatsoever that Hulk Hogan should be star number 2 and Mr. T star number 3? I think that's racist. I think it's diabolical.
It's a hate crime against women because Hulk Hogan has apparently been a bad man. What order in the film do they come in?
He was invited to be a bad man, though.
Yeah, you are right. Mr. T should be second. He had a huge part. He had,
that's all I'm saying.
And I'm not going to change it. I'm going to leave it like that. And every time I watch Rocky 3, I'm going to.
This is a great point. This is a great point in those Star Trek movies. You have just marginalized George.
He's gay, isn't he? He's gay and Chinese, so he's not allowed on my list. I've got a thing against gay Chinese men. It's
not Chinese, but that's okay. And
I do know that he is
while
Japanese.
Standing up for him, you've spelled his name wrong, so I can't even take you seriously now.
Takai. Takai. Yes, I do know he is Japanese.
It's Takei, by the way.
Fuck it, don't start that. He changed it. He come out yesterday and changed it. Do you know he's only one of three surviving Star Trek people? There's him, there's Chekhov, and there's Kirk, and that's it. All gone.
Shatner is probably the youngest looking 90-year-old I've ever seen.
It is crazy.
It's
What's he done?
that he's 90.
Alien. That's why he's a fucking alien. And he's from Colorado or somewhere.
He's
They don't
90,
age there.
He's 90. He's 92 and almost 93. He's 92 until he's 93. No, he's 91 until he's 92.
93.
Oh,
here we go. Here's a bone.
He looks like a 67-year-old man, which is, it's not that old, but
BX Foot Gaming says Mike's thoughts on English actors taking over Hollywood during doing American accents. He should be fucking banned. Bullshit. Either change the character to English, but don't get English people to do American accents, and don't get Americans to do English accents. Apart from Bridget Jones, does work brilliant.
There are some instances of that I don't mind, because it actually, when you hear them talk, like on the
Yellowstone.
Well, that's the one that I have an issue with, because she's awful.
Yeah,
she's horrendous. But on other shows, on Succession, on all, it's hot, because then you hear them talking about like doing the wrap up of the show and
House,
and then it's like, oh my god, look how
Hugh Laurie.
She sounds sexy. Yeah, Hugh Laurie. I had no idea. I didn't watch House, but I saw all the commercials, and when I found out he was English,
people not realizing that he's English.
I love how in Succession, the couple that both of the people in the couple, Shiv and her husband, both English, both really pull off American. And you know what? Demsec's giving us a good segue, which I was planning on going towards anyway. George Takei, big Mastodon guy. Danny the GFP, stubborn AF.
Can I go there and call people the C word?
You can. You'll probably get banned by the admin.
I've just gone and got the Wikipedia for The Good Nurse, so I'm going to save that. To go on whinge on about fucking Mastodon, where all the snowflakes go to huddle and rock and go kumbaya, kumbaya. Meanwhile, I'm slapping out K words and C words on Twitter at an alarming rate.
Yeah,
my mum actually called.
Maybe I should
the C word today.
Maybe I shouldn't push so hard to get you on Mastodon.
I don't need to go a place where people are fucking scared of their own shadows.
I'm surprised you wouldn't immediately
vegans.
Embrace a place that starts with Masta.
Well,
but
it could be. So go and plug it. Plug your bloody I'm in charge of Mastodon bullshit.
I'm not plugging it. It's our, you go to Mastodon, go to arsenalfc.social. I'm not plugging it, but go there now, sign up, and enjoy. And I don't have any vested interest in it. It's just a nice place.
Mark says Trading Places, magnificent film.
Yeah,
Nutty Professor, shit. Hear No Evil, See No Evil, absolute world class.
Trading Places. I have a very controversial, seemingly unpopular take, but not a fan of Jamie Lee Curtis and her boobies.
I would prefer that wasn't in the film, much like in Love Actually, one of my favorite films. The Martin thing, that sex scene. I would actually go and get the film. I've got it downloaded.
Everybody talks about how incredible she is and they are, and I'm just not I'm not a fan. Don't like it.
Demsec agrees. Fury is brilliant. My cousin Vinny, on YouTube, I always go the Utes. I mean, on Twitter, people go, "Why are you saying Utes?" I say, "My cousin Vinny, a good film." Two popes, no. As a relapsed Catholic, I can't talk about it. We're down to one pope now. Driving Miss Daisy, no, fuck that shit. I do like an Eddie Murphy film. Another Beverly Hills Cop 1 and 2, 48 Hours, and another 48 Hours. Extremely racist in some of in 48 Hours. I watched that with Sean about 5 years ago and went, "Oh, that's the 80s for you."
So you loved it then?
Yeah, I did. I was neat. I watched it again. I put it on really, really loud and put it on repeat. The Good Nurse, I'll have a look at. Where is George Takai? I don't know. He's on holiday. Oh, the menu. I've just downloaded that. Ralph Fiennes.
Ray Fiennes.
The Gold movie franchise. That should be burnt. And what's Ryan said? Don't start me on the golf. Yeah, exactly. Mark Backridden says, what do you think of the Greta Thunberg re Andrew Tate Twitter spat? Well, she's a spaz and should have no part in anyone listening to a word she says, and he should be locked away for the rest of his life.
I am blissfully aware that this is a thing, but unaware of any details surrounding it whatsoever. What explain this to me? Give me the Cliff Notes dummy version of what's happened here and who these. I know who Greta Thunberg is. I have no clue who Andrew Tate is.
Well, he is he was on Big Brother UK once. I don't remember him being on there. He is now a sexist, a misogynist. He's all those ists.
He's not the guy that runs around and is on video like punching people, is he? Like there was another guy that
I don't know,
like a white nationalist, xenophobic guy that was running around punching people on film.
No, I don't know, but he had a photo of him filling up his massive big car with a V12, and he put a comment in there saying, "This is my V12 car. It does 4 miles per gallon, and I've got another. I think it's a Bugatti Veyron, and I've got a load more cars like this at home, and I enjoy putting all this fuel in because then I think of you." And he's just an absolute. He's a cunt. He's a horrible, but nasty, slimy little prick.
But he's not famous in the same like way.
He's not famous at all.
So, he's not like,
famous.
So, right, but he's not like Logan Paul or any of those types of guys that.
No, that's what he'd like to be. But he does this thing on TikTok, and he does lessons on how men should treat women, like treat them mean, give them a slap if they get out of line.
No, yeah,
and he has this and how to chat up women, and you think, "Are you creepy cunt? Fuck off." It's not even funny. I mean, I like dark humor when things are, you shouldn't laugh at that. But he is just, there's not a single thing he's ever done that I'd go, "Oh, that's funny." No, you're a cunt. Go and fucking kill yourself. Don't kill yourself, because if you did, I'd feel they might say it's my fault. So don't do that. Not that he's watching.
Yeah, but you'd be celebrated by millions.
Go chuck yourself in a fucking hole and stay there. That's more like it.
You know what I did last week?
Oh.
If you know me, you know I can't stand people who play Fantasy Premier League. And I want to fight
me.
But I have no issues playing fantasy NFL football. And I have won the championship in our league with a 12-2 record, including winning the semifinal and the final, because I am the master.
The master of the Mastodon.
The master of the Don, and I've won the league, which gets me 0 plaudits from the other members of the league in our
Anybody I know in it?
Andy Rhodes is in there.
Never heard of him. Sounds like a loser to me.
Joey Murphy.
Oh, hold on a second. Andrew Tate got arrested by Interpol because they were after him. They didn't know where he was, so he did a video to Thunberg, and there was a pizza box in the video, and it had a barcode, a QR code on it, and Interpol scanned it, found out where he was using the name of the box. It turns out he was in Romania or Bulgaria. No, Romania. And then they come along, and you don't fuck with the Romanian police. They got him, scooped him up and his brother, and then locked him up and threw away the key.
What did he do officially that was illegal, though? Like being an asshole?
He says he has all these women come to his house. He says, "You come to my house, you have sex when I want. We'll do the drugs. I think maybe drugs. I don't know about that. Yes. And you're never allowed to leave."
All right. So
but he's a scrawny little fuck who he goes, he does jiu-jitsu and he thinks he's good at it. The kind of bloke that as soon as you want to see, you want to punch him in the face. Smarmy little fuck. Anyway, so that was it. So go on about your NFL. What do you win for it? Millions? Billions? Trillions?
Dozens. Dozens of dollars. And no one pays anyway. So I think the last year's winner is still waiting to get paid. So it's really just a kind of a pride thing. I'm almost out of shit to talk about. Tuesday.
Dolphins have got to the playoffs.
Tuesday we got these guys. Oh yeah, Dolphins playoffs.
How did they
playoffs?
They did that a few years ago and then got smashed in the next round. But if we got the Bills at the Bills,
Well, they're going to get murdered. The Bills are incredible. They have all the emotion right now because of their player that nearly died on Monday Night Football last week.
I didn't know what team. I saw the thing. I saw the tackle.
That was crazy. But he's going to be all right, it seems.
Hit him so hard, he stopped his heart, didn't he?
Well, it hit him at just the moment that the heartbeat. Yeah, it's a like commotio cordis.
Lucky to be alive.
It's crazy. Yeah, he is very lucky to be alive.
And they were saying that because he's only been doing NFL for 2 years, if he ended up crippled or monged out, he'd get no support from the league because you've got to be there 3 years, play full time for 3 years, so he'd be left on his own with fuck all money.
I don't know how that works, but I'm hoping and imagining that he would be okay. But yeah, Miami's going to get killed next week because they got to go to Buffalo, which is going to be like
knee deep in snow,
negative 30 degrees and snowy, and they're incredible and probably going to win the Super Bowl. And Miami doesn't even have their quarterback. So
yeah. Oh, what's that? What? Tula's out.
Tua's out. They couldn't do shit today. They won despite scoring no touchdowns.
What, did he get injured?
Yeah, well,
another concussion.
Another concussion, and yeah, he's doomed.
Mark asked a quick question before we go. Thoughts on Prince Harry airing his dirty laundry about the royal family admitting he killing 25 Taliban? Well, you know the world's fucked when the Taliban start going, "Oh, you've hurt my feelings." She's stunning.
I don't think that's quite the issue with this. Is that the Taliban?
Well, she's gorgeous, but she's a twat.
She is,
and he's an ugly ginger troll. He's a 4 out of 10. She's maybe an 8.5 out of 10. And she says jump, and he says how high. Well, that's the gist of everything. Oh, yes, you missed the beginning, Owen.
Yeah, I didn't have this at the beginning of the show. So go back and watch, see how it occurred, and never, ever will you see this again. Why, when you zoom, is it like moving frame by frame? It's very scary. Here's how I can do that. This has been another episode of the Sunday Roast with Danny and Mike. Thank you for joining us. Maybe we'll be on next Sunday. Although I think next Sunday I will be at White Hart Lane or whatever the new Tottenham Hotspur Stadium is. So
the toilet bowl.
The toilet bowl. I will be urinating on the floor, defecating.
Asking them why they hate, why they shout certain things and have no idea.
Yeah, I'll probably be getting into fights over that, and yeah, so probably no Sunday roast next Sunday or the Sunday after that because of Arsenal games. But then again, maybe there will be. So find out what facial hair we have next week. Say goodbye, Danny.
Goodbye, Danny.
This has been the Sunday Roast.
Thanks for watching the Sunday Roast with Mike and Danny. This is sometimes Mike, and this is Dan, and we have fun. Here's Bird Leno, and here's Sexy Mike riding a horse. Danny loves junk food, we know he does, and Mike does tricks. We love football, but hate talking about it, so we made this show. Why you watch it, we don't know.
But it's fucking hard work. Get off me, you buzzy cunt. Fuck off. I hate them.
The Sunday Roast is a joint production of a Bergkamp Wonderland and the Gooners Podcast. Join us every Sunday night at 10 p.m. for all the entertainment you didn't know you wanted, but can't live without. Have a great week, everybody. We out.
Thank God the show's over. I shaved that stupid thing off so our fucking fans don't have to. Oh shit, we're still on the air.